People who have genuinely ruined their life. What is your story? Story 1. Addiction to alcohol ruined my late 30s to mid 50s. The most important years of my life in terms of career and my children's childhood. Now sober and in damage control, but those years are gone. I try not to be consumed with regret, shame, and sadness about it, because resentment, sadness, and latterly shame are in large part what led me there in the first place, and kept me there for years. Story 2. Steroids. Absolutely ruined my body. I'm 38 and look 70. I cannot stand for very long and can sit on few surfaces. Extreme muscular atrophy. No collagen in my face. Do not fucking do them. They are addictive. They will get you in trouble. They will change you. Story 3. I was drinking a great deal. My wife was cheating on me. I left my wife, which meant leaving the apartment. I went to go check into a motel, but she had cleaned out the bank account and maxed the credit cards. I slept in the office. The next day, she shows up to work because we work together. It quickly becomes obvious that we can't continue working together and that the people at work are taking her side. So I quit my job. I have no car and almost nothing. I go down to the homeless encampment and introduce myself. They think I'm a police informant, and so I spend the night terrified that they will kill me if I fall asleep. I start sleeping in the library during the day and scrounging food. I just stay awake all night long. I steal all the ketchup and saltines from a Wendy's so I can eat one weekend. I sold my plasma for cash. I got 3 days of emergency food stamps, but I had earned too much money to qualify for more than that. After 6 weeks, I completely lost my mind and could not tell reality from dream. A person I barely knew heard I was homeless and let me sleep on his recliner in his living room and share his food. I started recovering. 4 months later, I got a job, moved out of town, and started the long road back to having a life. Now I'm married for almost 30 years with 4 kids, and approaching retirement in a comfortable house, and plenty to eat. Story 4. Sister got hooked on pills in the Midwest early 2000s. Lived a life of an addict and just passed away this last Thursday. She's gone, but the addiction is too. Silver linings and all, she had 6 kids, custody of none. Left them with a lot of questions. But once again, this is the final pain she will cause the family. Weird feelings of your sibling passing. She was 1 year younger than myself, 39. My little sister's gone. I'm currently back in my hometown trying to explain things to her younger kids. It's a mess. Don't do drugs harder than you. Story 5. Not me, but a family relative. Was a high flyer in the London financial district. Jet-setting lifestyle, model girlfriend, penthouse apartment in Mayfair, drove a sports car that cost more than most people's houses. Had it all. Developed a severe cocaine addiction and overdid it, had a debilitating stroke at age 45. A decade later, he's on his 4th suicide attempt and living alone in a small 1-bed, rundown rented place. As soon as he lost the money and the lifestyle, the girlfriend left him. He lost everything. Look after your health above all else. Story 6. My neighbor across the street. She was married and had a daughter. She decided to cheat on her husband and abandon their daughter at a water park. Her ex-husband filed for divorce, got full custody, got to keep the house and all his assets. She got nothing, absolutely nothing. Their daughter has refused to see her because, yes, her mom abandoned her multiple times. But the last straw was at the water park on the daughter's birthday. She looks like she aged 20 years, even though she's around 35. Their daughter is now 12. The mom works at a Menards and I think a restaurant. Her parents made her get a job rather than sit at home. They made it clear she's earning her stay with them. No free ride. Story 7. Was an alcoholic for all of my adulthood, went through divorce, lost my house, finally quit drinking and lost my biggest supporter and had to move back in with my father. Don't have a single thing to show for 20 plus years. I regret ever taking my first sip and never working on my own mental health and being there for the people that were there for me. That pretty much sums it up. Story 8. I got stage 4 breast cancer at 29. Lost my husband, lost most of my friends, lost my home, and now I'm at risk of losing my job because the chemotherapy that's keeping me alive is also messing with my cognitive abilities. It will be 8 years since my diagnosis this July, and frankly, I don't know what I'm still doing here. I'm able-bodied, but I'm a mess of a person. Story 9. Watched my best friend ruin his life and ultimately die as a consequence of his actions. In our early 20s, my friend group and I all loved to get high and party. In the beginning, it was fine. We all lived with our parents, went to local universities or junior colleges, and held down part or full-time jobs. Over time, weed and the party drugs gave way to opioids. This was between 2007 and 2010, when they were still easy to get and weren't cut with fentanyl, Percocet, morphine, OxyContin. During this phase, my best friend of my whole life sought out and landed a dirty doctor. He found a doctor willing to prescribe him just about whatever he asked for in unlimited quantities for off-record payments during office visits. For maybe a year, it was a blast. We all had benzos and stimulants and opioids of crazy purity for super cheap. For me, the fun stopped when I got real serious about getting into a master's program and started spending more time on campus doing research and less time chilling out after school. My friend who found the doctor and had the pills never really stepped up his game. Rather than push to transfer from junior college to university, he slowly dropped out of school, full-time to part-time to not going back, and cut back his hours working, choosing instead to stay home all day, high as a kite, and sell pills to an ever-growing list of randoms and junkies. A few years went by like this, and while I still enjoyed getting loaded on morphine from time to time, my tolerance decreased, and the negative effects started to outweigh the positives of being high, and I just kinda stopped taking the shit. My friend, on the other hand, developed a full-blown addiction to pills, to the point that his whole life revolved around getting them, taking them, and selling them. I ultimately decided to go further in school and moved away to do a PhD after my master's. I barely had contact with my friend anymore, except for the occasional phone call, despite the fact that I loved the dude. A couple of years after I'd moved away, he reached out to tell me his mom was terminally ill and had less than a few months to live. In a telling sign of how far gone he was, he went from telling me about his mom's condition to freaking out about the fact that he was going to lose his medical insurance. She was a business owner and somehow managed to keep him covered by her medical insurance L, and wouldn't be able to get his meds anymore. A few months later, after his mom's funeral and a few unsuccessful attempts to get in touch with my friend, he called me from some weird phone number one day. We talked for about an hour, and he explained to me that his family had forged his mom's signature on her deathbed to prevent him from inheriting her house. Apparently, his family knew about his drug habit, it was obvious, and had sold his mom's house, which he was supposed to inherit, to recoup losses on his mom's medical bills, and they'd kicked him out on the street. Without medical insurance or a home, and with a raging opioid addiction that had been cut off at the source, my friend ended up on the streets. He was buying, selling, and using heroin out of his car, as well as living in it. When he told me all this, the first thing I did was try to get him help. I wasn't able to do anything for him financially because I was on grad school, but I got him all the info he needed to check into an inpatient program, complete with medical detox so he wouldn't have to go through withdrawals at zero cost. He thanked me for the info and said he'd consider it, but that he wasn't ready to quit yet. Our conversation ended with me asking him to keep in touch and to let me know what I could do for him, if anything. That was the last conversation we had. I found out 4 months later that he was found dead outside of a convenience store from drug-related complications. Not an acute OD, but complications from organ failure as a result of years of drug abuse and negligence of his health. It's a super shitty outcome for a guy who wasn't a bad person at all. He just lost his way and was too stubborn to admit he was in over his head until it was too late. Story 10. Rubbed my eyes excessively from a very young age due to seasonal allergies. Around 2012, I noticed my vision deteriorating rapidly, and I was only 13 at the time. Didn't go to the optician because I didn't want to wear glasses, and I was scared my dumbass wouldn't look cool. Sigh, a few years down the line, my vision is so bad I can barely recognize familiar faces from a particular distance, and I finally decide to go and see a specialist in 2016. Long story. Short, I got diagnosed with keratoconus in 2016 and did surgery in 2017. CXL for those familiar. But this procedure only stops the progression. It does not cure the disease or improve vision. Eyes are so bad that glasses don't help, and I can only wear RGP and scleral lenses, and even then, vision is still not 20/20, although very close, which I'm very thankful for. My right eye is -5, and left eye is -10, and I haven't rubbed my eyes not even once for almost 10 years now. Life is great though. Could have been worse. Don't rub your eyes, people, or you will see 20 moons at night.